is Michael.Yon. It is time to go live again. A lot of things to talk about. Please share this out quickly. I'd like to thank everybody who has supported my work uh, through Patreon, PayPal, Venmo, Bank of America, Mitsubishi Bank in Japan, Thai bank accounts, and any other way that there is out there, especially Patreon, PayPal, Venmo, and the other ways. Let's get started. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. That's how Americans say we got, should clear our throats. All right. I just have these headphones on to see if the sound is good. Please tell me if it sounds good to you. I can turn it up. When I listened to it yesterday, a little bit after we went offline, it didn't sound quite as loud as I wanted it to be. But let's take those off. A lot of things to talk about. Coroner Timothy, what's up? Bam Bam. All right. You one of my old Army buddies? They used to call me Bam Bam when I was a Green Beret because I was extremely strong and I was pretty okay at fighting. And so some of the other Green Berets would take me on at times, and sometimes they would beat me and sometimes not. Depends on how good I was and how good they were. And there was a lot of good fighters, so you never know how it was going to work out. All right. Let's see. Good. Okay. Let's see. Sounds like hello in Cincinnati, Gary Carsey. All right. Good. Everybody's saying sound is good. And somebody's saying Koh Samui. I've been there a lot down. Hey, Bear. And hello, Frank. All right. Good. Let's get started. Right. So many things going on right now. One of them is helmets. And that's why I put this photo up from the war. That's a British soldier. I took that photo after a firefight. Actually, when I was over in Hong Kong fighting there for 6 months until the communists kicked me out on February 5th, or let's say denied me entry was the technical term, after I returned. I'd spent 6 months in the Hong Kong insurgency. In fact, I was the first one calling it an insurgency. Now it's very obviously an insurgency. People can see it. But in any way, the communists kicked me out. Interestingly, I would like to say something to the Hong Kong freedom fighters. I know a lot of them come on my page. I'm thinking about you every day, night and day. The insurgency is far from over, as you well know. If I can give any experienced advice, is to calm down right now, consolidate, take care of your health, take care of your family, take care of your friends, continue to organize. This virus, we'll call it the commie virus, like kamikaze, divine wind. Well, the divine virus is upending the Chinese Communist Party and causing severe damage. And obviously the PLA, the People's Liberation Army, will not escape that damage. If China were to go into a civil war, I don't know. I'm not predicting that's what's going to happen. I don't know. But certainly economic disaster has befallen China due to this virus and the fact that they let it get out of control. Now, this puts the freedom fighters in Hong Kong, whom I've come to respect immensely and forever. You're incredible. You're just unbelievable. And now just relax and again, preserve your health, continue to organize, and be prepared for your moment of opportunity, which is not here yet. We don't know when that time will be, but let's watch how this unfolds, because opportunity smells like it might be coming. When? I don't know. It could be months. It could be a year, but it's not right now. Take care of your health. Let me have a little coffee, because I know you're out there having coffee now or on the streets or doing something. I've been communicating with some of the freedom fighters tonight. You guys are awesome. Right. Now, let's talk about so much advice coming out of the United States and the world about wearing masks. And that's why I put this helmet, or not this helmet, this photo up on the wall. When I was off in the fighting in Hong Kong, and I had we were doing some rearranging here with my office, and a friend of mine, I came back and he had printed out a couple of my photos and put them on the wall, which I really don't like military photos on my wall. Actually, I like birds and things like that. But now I've got a couple. I've got that Apache helicopter that you've seen, and I've got the this 2 photos up on my wall. This is a young soldier. This was let me see, something's happening with my screen here, and and I need that to work anyway. Right. So I took this photo after a big firefight. I hope everything's still on there because I pressed a button that changed some of my view here, and that I need to be able to see. And so, goodness gracious. Right. Well, I can't see your comments right now. And I need to be able to see your comments to do quite a few things, like answer comments. And, oh, here we go. At least comments are back up again. All right. Let me see if you see the comments even go up on the screen. I can't see the screen right now. All right. So, okay, you see my screens, Deb says. Good. All right. Sorry about that. New hardware, new software. So this is life is a dance. You learn as you go, and this is it. So, and I'm learning this as I go. Now, let's talk about the coronavirus. I've got my, poor man's teleprompter going here. This is I just printed things out on my laser printer. Some of the headlines. Coronavirus hysteria is leading to mask shortages. Surgeon General urges the public to stop buying face masks. Surgeon General. He's like the top surgeon in the United States, top doctor in America, let's say. He's our top gun doctor. He's actually in the Navy, and you can see him wearing his Navy hat. It's way too big for his head. His name is Jerome Adams. He's a clown. All right. Here's another article from Wall Street Journal. Mask run short as coronavirus spreads. Another one. Squabble over mask shortage erupts as coronavirus spreads. Another headline. Face mask, not enough, are made in America to deal with the coronavirus. And here's another one. Coronavirus. Do masks work? Why is this even a question? They definitely work. But you can get into arguments on that now because people like our Surgeon General have come out and said, wearing his Navy uniform and in front of the White House, you see that? He was right out in front of the White House with that big Navy hat and his uniform, looking all official, saying that masks don't work. Well, there's more to the story. And here's another one. Mask prices soar amid coronavirus fears in U.S. Another one. U.S. health officials say Americans shouldn't wear face masks. Another one. The global shortage of medical masks won't be easing anytime soon. And it goes on in page after page after page after page. Should you wear a mask? Yeah, you should wear a mask. But we have a mask shortage. Why do we have a mask shortage? Since 1918, we've had at least that amount of time to stock up on masks. What year is this? 2020, right? We've had at least since 1918 to stock up on. You should see some of the photos of people in 1918 improvising masks. They're amazing. They have all kinds of improvised masks. A lot of them look like masks that people are improvising today, actually. The same workable, except they had some different materials back then. But if you look online, say, where did I find those? I found some in an old book, so they were not even recent publications. But I don't remember I've read so much. But I mean, if you look online for like Spanish flu improvised masks, you'll see a lot of really interesting masks. And you see people today wearing water bottles over their head and that sort of thing. Masks do work, period. Although we have a lot of, people saying they don't work if you don't wear them right, or you might touch your face or whatever. Hey, listen, that's why I put this photo up here so we could talk about it. This was after a firefight in Basra, Iraq in about, 2006. And this was a British soldier, a squatty, right? And we went into this firefight, killed about 30 enemy or something, right? Big firefight. It went for hours, thousands and thousands of rounds. I think the platoon that I was with, which I think was his platoon, right, shot about 5,000 rounds just from the soldiers that were right around me. That doesn't include all the other platoons and many enemy bullets coming at us. There was a lot. And then ended up in war crimes trials and all kinds of stuff. It was weird. There was no war crimes anyway. And actually, the British prosecutor nor defense, neither one called me to come testify in the UK. which shows what kind of a clown act they have there on their war crimes accusations, because I was in the middle of that firefight the whole time. Anyway, so we had that firefight. We came back to base. He takes his helmet off, and, he's got that look on his face like I just been killing people, which we had been doing. And then there was another mission that we did, about 2 days later. I think this was called Op Arezzo, right? You can find it online. And Arezzo, I think. Operation Arezzo. Op Arezzo. You can see many more photos that I took and published. And then maybe 2 days later, we did another ambush, and that was called Op Rattlesnake, as in rattlesnake. And I made video of that, and you can see that online too. And that's when we ambushed some enemy and killed them. How many did we kill? 6 or 8 or something. And then another day or two later, we're on another mission, and then we got ambushed. And I was in a snatch, what they call them, which is a small, like a unarmored vehicle. And there was about 40 or so bombs that were planted for us. And this was in Mason province. This was in Basra province, but I got on a helicopter and flown up to Mason province. And so now we're in this ambush, and boom, bombs go off and kill at least one British soldier and wounded some more. And so that was like 3 missions. This one killed almost 30. Next one we killed, I don't know, 6 or 8. I can't remember. You can see on my video. And then the next one, we got ambushed and we lost a soldier and then took some wounded. And so this was the way it was. This was my life for years. You know what I mean? Just like mission after mission, lots of people getting killed, lots of people getting shot. And I know the value of body armor. And now when we have the CDC coming up and personal protection equipment, PPE. Now when we have the CDC and the World Health Organization, all these people coming up and saying masks don't work because people don't know how to wear them right. That's one reason they give. That's like telling me that helmets don't work for bicycles because people don't know how to wear them, right? If you see somebody wearing a bicycle helmet and it's not buckled like this, when they're riding down the road and it's not buckled, well, it might not work. They might die because they didn't have the buckle on. And the same with combat soldiers. If your helmet is not buckled, you are not John Wayne. You're not Clint Eastwood. You're not Audie Murphy. Buckle your helmet. Because you know what? When we get into firefights, what's the first thing that happens? You hit the dirt. Bullets, snap, snap, snap. Everybody's running for cover. Helmet falls off immediately, even if it's very well fitted. You know what I mean? You got to have your helmet on. You got to have it strapped. All right. Now, I've got it correctly because I've adjusted it already, right? So when I ride a bicycle or anything like that, I wear gloves. I wear the whole thing. I got the lights and the flashing lights and make sure this is all adjusted. We know how to do it. You don't need a PhD or a medical degree to know how to get your helmet right. Same with combat helmets, with the Kevlar. You have to adjust it right because when you get hit with bombs, like in the vehicles, and everybody's smashing their heads and stuff, if your helmet is too big, some of the blast gets up inside of your helmet. It can cause more concussion, right? Which can have significant effects. And so, yeah, it doesn't work if it's not on right because often it just falls right off. We all know that. Likewise with these little masks, you have to seal them. We all know that. Guess what? If anybody that can get out of bed and brush their teeth and use a hairdryer, not that I need one, can wear one of these masks correctly. I don't even use one of these. I don't like those at all. I use this sort. And they're very easy to wear. It only takes like 90 seconds of training. Literally, there's YouTube videos that show you how to wear these. This is from 3M. This is a 7500 series. This is a 7502 mask, right? From 3M. It takes literally maybe 2 minutes to learn how to use this mask. Or if you want the PhD course, take 5 minutes. And it works, and likewise with this, maybe 2 to 3 minutes, right? So how to put it on, how to dispose of it. Now, one of the problems we have, especially in the United States, is everything has to come in a package and it has to have, numbers on it and things like that to look official. I've lived all over the world and I've seen people do amazing things with improvisation, like our grandparents were doing all the time, or like when I lived in Poland, improvise, overcome, adapt, write, field expedients, as they would be called in the military. We have a mask shortage. The problem is that I'm looking at levels here. If the sound is breaking up, please tell me. And so, let's see, I'm shooting down to the bottom here. So if the just learn how to wear your mask. And, like the CDC and others who are saying that masks don't work. And some of these comments have been an oral. One of my friends in Japan sent a couple messages tonight and said CDC is not lying about, and he made a good case that he put some studies up and whatnot. But I've seen some of the statements that they've made orally. And then we've got the World Health Organization, who is a puppet of China. And then we've got various medical experts who are giving us bad advice because we're short of masks. The United States has about 1% of the masks that we need, and worldwide, an even worse shortage apparently. So, and most of the masks are made in China, and China does not want to export masks, and they don't have to because they need them themselves. And so we've had since at least 1918, or the World Health Organization, when did they form? Was that 1948? Anyway, something like, they're part of the UN, of course. But whenever they formed, it was 48, 49 or something like that. We've had all these years, decades, generations to stockpile simple masks, even though we've had so many books and movies and films and people warning about and President Obama, warning about future epidemics and pandemics, and everybody warning about future epidemics. And epidemics and pandemics happen all the time. They don't happen every 100 years. It's just the super bad ones happen every less often. But look at AIDS. AIDS has killed 39 million people or so, estimated. 39 million. Think about that. And you know about the vaccine for AIDS, right? We don't have one. There's no vaccine for AIDS, right? And so, and likewise, there's no vaccine for SARS. When did SARS happen? You know what I'm saying? This was like the kids that were not even born yet are about to graduate from high school. That, during the SARS times, and there's no vaccine. You keep hearing people say, well, Israel's got this new vaccine. No, they don't. They don't have a vaccine. It's not here. It's not coming. We're not going to have it soon. It's not going to be there, period. Don't count on a vaccine. You have to count on yourself. We can't count on CDC. World Health Organization is lying. The U.S. Surgeon General is lying. Wear a mask. Now we have a shortage of masks, right? I don't have a shortage of masks. You see all the panic buying going for toilet paper and whatnot. I don't have to shop. I've got everything I need. I had masks. I had masks before anybody here had heard of this virus because I already had them in advance, years in advance. I already had masks because I knew, right? I knew it was coming. And so I upped my level of mask to this one because I saw the Hong Kong freedom fighters were using these a lot in the fighting. And you can see on my look on the top of my Facebook, and you'll see that video on the header, that, rectangular video, the header. Look how many are wearing this mask or one that's quite similar. It's either this, some are wearing this one and some are wearing one that's similar. Some will be wearing the pink filters, and you can see them. They're throwing Molotovs at the communists, right? At the headquarters there on Hong Kong Island. I made that video, and you can see them wearing this mask and similar masks. And so I learned from them that these are really good masks. I was wearing my military M50 mask, which is even better, but it's a little bit more bulky. And anyway, it's actually far better. It's good for biological warfare and that sort of thing. So even if you can't get masks like this, and people are like, why are you talking about panic? I'm not panicked. I got all the food and mask and everything I need. In fact, I gave away hundreds and hundreds of masks. And if anybody who was listening to me doesn't need masks because they bought them in January. Everybody who listened to me and took my advice bought masks back in January. And those who didn't may have bought them in February. And those who still didn't buy them, I'm suggesting that you do things like buy these 3M masks, which are still available, and they work better. This is what I wear, man. I like this a lot better. I got plenty of these other kind. I'm not going to wear that garbage. They're uncomfortable. These are much more comfortable. These aren't garbage. They'll work. This, medical professionals wear the N95s, but these are, I like that better. It seals better, and it's just a better mask. And ultimately, it's a lot cheaper. So now looking at what's going on across America and across the world. Italy obviously is in meltdown. The Iranian government, many top members, at least one has died. Maybe more died today. I don't know. I didn't pay as much attention to Iran today as I paid to United States and Hong Kong and Thailand and Europe. In United States, you may have known the Seattle Seahawks. One of their people apparently has got the virus. Stanford closed down. One of the medical school faculty members got it. A couple students apparently as well. Washington is telling 2.2 million people to stay home. A Starbucks barista has been diagnosed with it over in Seattle. Basically, Seattle's closed down. From what I'm being told and what I'm also seeing in the news. But again, the mask, improvise your mask if you have to. Like this soldier was wearing a helmet in combat, just like I was, because it works. It doesn't work if you don't have the chin strap on because they come off. That's why you might have seen me and Eric out on the fighting in Hong Kong all the time, and he would unstrap his mask like John Wayne. I'd be like, Eric, hey, you're not John Wayne. Strap your mask. I've seen this too many times, man. I've seen it too many times. American soldiers and British soldiers keep their and I'm talking about SEALs, and I'm talking about Rangers, and I'm talking about Green Berets and infantry soldiers. They keep their helmets buckled, right? Unless they're really just taking them off or putting them on. You don't see SEALs and Green Berets and stuff running around with unbuckled masks or helmets. Not from, you might see a still photo of that, but when you get out into the action, no, those things are all zipped up because everybody knows when the stuff hits the fan, mask flies off. We know how to wear them. And so likewise with these filters, keep in mind, now people keep saying, well, the filters won't stop everything. Well, of course they won't. And the helmets won't stop everything either. People get shot all over the place. And even this helmet, I would wear even this helmet in combat if I did not have a normal Kevlar helmet. Why? Because often when bombs go off and things like that, there's like bricks and stuff flying through the air. Actually, you'll see a lot of our special operations people wear masks that don't offer ballistic protection. They only offer protection against concussion because they need to be able to do things very quickly. But yes, of course, the mask is not going to stop everything, but it stops a lot. And remember, one of the main helmets are a main part of body armor for various reasons. One is people get shot in the head and the face a lot. One is because, you're peeking around a corner, bam, get shot in the face. Or you're laying on the ground, get hit in the face, get hit in the head. Ricochet comes up, hit you in the face, hit you in the head. And obviously if it hits you in this part, well, you got hit. If it hits you in this part, which is a substantial part, then you're good, maybe good to go. It depends on the type of weapon, of course. So yeah, wear the mask, and the mask work just like helmets work. Helmet doesn't block your whole head. You know what I mean? It doesn't. If you get shot in the ear, well, you got shot in the ear. That's the way it goes. This big boy rules. And likewise with this virus, big boy rules are in effect. You will pay for mistakes. Enemy, look for dumb. All the enemies always look for dumb. This virus is looking for dumb. That's why you'll see Taliban and others, I've said this before, they'll raise up a flag somewhere and say, one old Marine told me he had been a EOD Marine in Afghanistan. He said we lose about one soldier or Marine per year going to collect Taliban flags, even though everybody knows you're not supposed to do that. Where are the dumb wells right now? The wells for stupidity are the people that are out at bars right now talking trash like, oh, look at all these people panic buying. Let's have another beer. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay, whatever, man. And so out at the disco, dancing around or whatever. These are reservoirs of stupidity and the virus is looking for that. It will find it and it will get it and it will spread out from there. And likewise, churches and other temples, mosques need to seriously consider how they're having their services and start doing online services. The Hajj has already been canceled. To Saudi Arabia, it's been canceled since 2 weeks maybe. The Olympics needs to be canceled unless they were canceled today and I didn't notice. Okay. So many more things. Right. And we don't have to go through everything. I would rather take questions because okay. Okay, now I see Nicola is saying, I've tried YouTube, Twitter, this, and Periscope. He's not reading any messages. Now I'm reading. Okay. All right. So let's see if this is working. It's only displaying multi-stream monitor. Lovely. All right. So how do I make this work? And somehow I've hit a button here that has made this. Apparently I hit a button here that did not, that made this. Uh-oh. And now the, well, I'm sorry about that. The sound apparently is great. So it's sort of a podcast. Well, I don't know what has happened here. Streaming monitor. Well, I tell you what, we can, if you're hearing me, we can at least try to answer questions that way. And instead of wasting your time and all these things going on here, instead of wasting your time with this, I can just answer questions audibly. All right. No video, Michelle is saying. Can you see when I click your comment, does it pop up? I'm sorry about that. I don't know what to say. Shirley is saying, my husband and I are scheduled to fly in 2 weeks to Florida to see grandchildren in our 70s. We have health problems. Should we cancel? Absolutely cancel, Shirley. Absolutely cancel. Also, like one of my friends that I've been working on a film with, she has to travel a lot due to film stuff. Mariana, maybe she'll come on tonight. I told her that I'm going live, and she's asking likewise. I think she was supposed to go to Stanford. And I've been telling her to cancel her trip to Indonesia and all these other places because you can see me monitor. Okay, all right. But I would offer this advice. I would offer the advice of get to where you want to weather this storm because you're going to get to the point where you're likely going to. Nicole says, hope I don't bring up private videos. I don't have anything that's all you'll see. Maybe is some war videos or something and big firefights or something like that. You won't see anything salacious, that's for sure. But I would advise getting to where you want to go and staying put and making sure that you've got all the supplies that you need because you are wherever you go, there's a serious likelihood you're going to get stuck there, especially if you're flying over the water somewhere overseas. There's a high chance you're going to get stuck somewhere. And I don't know how to make this camera work. It's really interesting how this just magically happened like this. And, well, there you go. Well, you can see what I see. 30 frames per second. Frame drops, 0, 2. I don't know what to say about this other than there's the photo right there. So, well, I would say at this point, and you can see the questions are now offline as well. I'm sorry about this. It's technical issues. Possibly caused by me, probably caused by me, but I didn't see even which button that I pushed to make it do this. It just magically did it. So let's try to answer these questions. Reboot the webcast. Sean Flex says, I can do that. That means turning it on. Okay. Yeah. Weishan says it will post a link here after this stream ends. That's true. It should be true. I don't know if that's true. All right. Well, is there any questions? Let's get to them. Well, reboot. I tell you what, I will go off and I'll come back on. And so we will give it a shot. And wait, let's see what Nicola is saying here. When I click your comment, is that popping up? Can you see that I just clicked Nicola's comment? Anyway, I'll read it. Nicola's comment is, my parents are over 70, are in Dubai on a cruise. Get them off the cruise. It's going everywhere, but think better getting it at home. Daughter due elective emergency surgery at the end of the month. I'm stressing. Well, I would tend to want to get that surgery sooner than later, because a lot of the issues that we will likely have with the medical system will be soon hospitals being overwhelmed. And so, and if that happens, a lot of surgery is just not going to happen. Okay, in M Technique says, yes, we can see the comments when I select them. Everything is working fine, just the video source is your screen instead of the camera. Well, then there's got to be some button here somewhere. I just hit reset. That didn't work. I tell you what, let's go ahead and go offline, and then we will go back online. I don't know what Wayne is saying. Tell that to those who died. Let's see. All right. Alicia Wales is saying, I would say, yes, you can homeschool. Absolutely. I would start. All right, let's just go ahead and try to reset this. I'll go ahead and go offline for now. If I can even find the button to go offline, and then as soon as I can, I'll come back online, which should just be about 3 or 4 minutes. Let's see. Oh, maybe I found it there. Let's see. There we go. Maybe that's it right there. Maybe that's it. But it won't seem to expand. I'm sorry about this. What an embarrassment. Let's see. Well, just not working. All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and finish this, and I'll come back on. Sorry about that, and see you in a few minutes. Mike out.